Hello there.
I'm Robert.
I'm Vanessa.
I'm Travis.
Yeah, we are late to the party, and it's another episode of
Better late than never.
Better Late Than Never, indeed. Camps, summer camps. It's hot. It's definitely, you know, the boring time of the year where you gotta find a way to make do. And other than going to watching movies, you could have been lucky, like these people in the trailers, and gone to a summer camp with trees and lakes and fun stuff going on.
Thanks for taking over. I kind of swallowed my spit wrong, so let's move ahead.
Sure.
So this next camp movie that we're looking at is one that I really enjoy a lot.
Okay.
I know it has inspired many people.
Inspired
many people to go into certain professions that they have.
What?
So this movie was released June 6th of 1986.
Okay.
Had a budget of $18 million to about $25 million. Not 100% sure what that was. Only made $10 million at the box office. Directed by Harry Weiner. Music was done by John Williams, though.
Really?
So this movie is very famous for being a marketing nightmare. It was released less than 5 months after the Challenger incident of January 28th.
Okay.
1986.
I've never seen this movie.
Roger Ebert gave it a 1.5-star rating and saying that our thoughts about the space shuttle will never be the same again, and our memories are so painful that this movie is doomed before it even began.
That's not good.
That's
So
not good.
this movie starred Kate Capshaw, Leah Thompson, Kelly Preston, Larry B. Scott, Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds,
Okay.
Leaf Phoenix,
I know some of these words. Yeah, Joaquin before
Phoenix,
he became Joaquin.
Tate Donovan, Tom Skerritt, and of course a little wacky robot named Jinx.
And Tom Skerritt's mustache as well.
And Tom Skerritt's mustache, yes.
Kate Capshaw, a little Temple of Doom action
Yes.
in there. Mrs. Steven Spielberg.
Leah Thompson mentioned years ago that she's had a lot of people come up to her and say that because of this, people have gone into being physicists or inventors because of watching this movie and how much they loved it and how much it inspired them.
Crazy.
It is a very good movie, but unfortunately it has...
It's probably...
It came out at the wrong time.
It came out at the very wrong time, unfortunately,
Sure.
for a hard part of this country. So let's look at this movie.
SpaceCamp?
Atlantis, do you copy?
This is Atlantis. Radio check satisfactory. Over.
SpaceCamp. America's real training ground for future astronauts.
I'm going to be the first female shuttle commander.
When you're not a passenger, you're flying.
You on SpaceCamp? I'm on SpaceCamp.
That's Hercules. He does the voice.
Tate Donovan.
Tate Donovan.
I know he does the voice. It sounds like it.
Remember everything I read.
Mrs. John Travolta.
Lag sometimes.
Kelly Preston?
Andros.
It is Kelly Preston.
Ah!
Spit it out, Rudy.
Lamar Latrell.
At 0900 Thursday, we're going to test fire the engines, and some of you will be able to sit in this.
They're gonna get accidentally launched into space.
Main engine test.
She's all yours.
3, 2.
Go for main engine test. We have main engine test.
No!
What does that mean?
We can't stop it. Mr. B is near ignition. It's gonna light. Get that thing operational.
Go for launch.
It's crazy.
Ladies, or they're gonna die. Do it now. Light it.
Like, sorry, y'all, we gotta send you to space, otherwise you're gonna blow up. Bird.
An impossible mistake launched them into space. The adventure of their lives will be getting back home.
Space.
SpaceCamp.
Yeah, I could see where the timing is definitely awful for the Challenger, especially because it's a big mistake. They got to launch them into space where they're going to die.
Or they're going to explode.
I get it. But with that being in the past and now looking at it with fresh eyes.
Would you see it on this trailer?
Hell yeah.
I would,
Hell
actually, yeah. I think it looks like a lot of fun, and I can see why some people did take a look at this movie and was like, you know what, that looks like a lot of fun. I feel like I want to do that as my profession.
The most I ever got, at least, introduced into SpaceCamp was at the end of Double Dare.
Oh my god, I was on my mind to talk about it.
It's like, at the very end, one of the prizes is like, you got to go to SpaceCamp. And I'm like, oh, look at that, that's so
That's
good.
So funny. I'm glad you said that.
But yeah, that's my only, experience that I have with SpaceCamp is seeing those little trailers that they would show at the end of Double Dare on Nickelodeon, because those kids were so lucky. And telling us the cast, I never knew that Lamar was in this. I knew Leah Thompson was in it. I didn't know Tom Skerritt, Kate Capshaw, Tate Donovan. I had no clue. And it's funny, watching this, all they show is the launch. So does a lot of the movie take place post-launch?
Not really.
Okay.
A lot of it's prior to that. It's more of these kids just being different kids from different areas and how they get along and how Joaquin Phoenix, because he's a much younger kid back then, maybe
right.
10, much younger than everyone else, and how he's treated like the young kid, and this is why he becomes friends with Jinx, the robot, and
which I don't think they even showed him at all.
They didn't show that at all.
Yeah. Interesting. So, is it more sci-fi oriented, or like explorers? Even though that's intergalactic, otherworldly, or is it just basically like this kind of grounded mishap that could maybe happen if all the circumstances lined up correctly?
Based off the trailer, I would go with the grounded mishap.
Right.
It's very, very much grounded. Like it's just reality. They're not making things up. Sure. And I think it's a fun movie, and I'm curious on what you guys out there think.
Makes me want to go to SpaceCamp. So I remember back in the day when when I was younger in school, like we have an airspace museum here,
right?
And they did have like a simulator that we went as a field trip to go, and they gave you different jobs to do, and it was like on a spaceship, and you literally had to do your job or else the mission would fail. And so this kind of also reminds me of that, and I remember doing that, and it was so much fun. Like you get to go, and I can't remember what I was. I think I was like making sure that
everyone had a full drink.
No, I was making sure that
the stewardess of the ship
that the ship didn't overheat. So I had to make sure
you were the coolant.
Basically, I had to press buttons to make sure, like every time you hear like a sound, I had to press the button to make sure that it like reset, so that way it didn't blow up or anything. But then there was like pilots. You had people who were navigators.
Wow, this sounds a lot like
a
precursor to a recently opened attraction.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge, definitely.
Yeah, you get to play the Millennium Falcon.
And yeah, it's definitely space as a child when it comes to space exploration, and especially events, simulators, the planetariums, the planetariums. You definitely get overwhelmed with that. Like I remember I was all into space when I was younger, when it came to wanting to get my own telescope and then eating the little ice cream sandwiches from space, which are terrible. You ended up getting this whole new world, essentially this universe thrust into you when you're a child. That sounds awful, but when you ended up bringing that into your world that you didn't know existed, like it was something that you loved the hell out of. And I think that's why SpaceCamp was just so far from all of us to reach, because it's expensive and not all your parents can fly you to Florida or Georgia or wherever it was.
And that's why I like this movie, because growing up as a kid, I was a nerd and I loved space, Star Trek, Star Wars. It was all about what's out there, and I loved it. So when this movie came out, not only was I wanting to go there, it gave me this whole world of what could be there. And then the music with John Williams is great. Sure. It's just there. It's just unfortunate that this came out at such a bad time when such a tragedy happened.
Right. Definitely having that kind of score behind it too really is one of the reasons why I want to visit in the first place, check it out and see what SpaceCamp has to offer. So if you guys saw SpaceCamp, do you love it? Let us know down below. If you never saw it, like myself and Vanessa, tell us as well. Are you in the same boat as late to the party? But thank you guys for watching our reaction to SpaceCamp. You can like and subscribe.
And did the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust.
All the social networking joints, you know where they are. Kick into the party, fuel the party, keep the party going on our Patreon. Gets us where we need to go. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
For bringing this love, because I mean, it's not something that's in our heads when we think camp.
Nope. There's the twist I wanted to give.
Yeah, you did it successfully. So thank you guys so much, and as always,
Now it's time to say goodbye.
party is over.
Bye.